All of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, JDU meet Nishant Kumar to take primary membership. This goes with Bihar politics related to politics. If you are interested, if you read the article, you get more information, you can learn a few words. Epstein files, new documents with claims against Trump released. This is again in the limelight. A lot of political leaders, especially the presidents of the US, incumbent and past presidents, they have been in the limelight for some wrong reasons, not correct reasons, wrong reasons. It's about that against Trump. From that, you should understand. Coming to the next one, raising concern. There are two important words here. One is, though I have told you guys many a time, arise, rose, risen, raise, raised, raised, and concern. I would like to meet the concerned person wrong. I would like to meet the person concerned is correct. That you have to recollect. Stop West Asia war from spreading. Stop. Someone has made a statement regarding West Asia war and made a statement saying that it has to be stopped. A recurring tragedy, recurring, repeating, again and again it happens. Gone in a flash fire. Here, flash floods, we are talking about flash fire. Fire accident, within no time, 20 people, 30 people die. Based on that, this expression, gone once for all in a flash fire. A firecracker factory explosion in AP reveals systemic safety lapses. Here you got to be careful. Ground zero means reality. Systematic means properly planned, and systemic related to entire system. An important word, you have to know the difference between systemic changes are important all the time. Systematic approach is important while preparing for competitive exams. Coming to the next snippet, inching closer, you can see Indian player shuttle. Lakshya storms into the last four stage, means semi-finals, quarter-finals, related to shuttle badminton. Let us hope he wins the title. Which one, you have to read the article, only then you understand. Coming to the main headline, US allows India to buy Russian oil for 30 days. Why should US allow India to buy Russian oil? That's $1 million question. You have to read the article. Bilateral ties, certain obligations. Based on that, the headline says, US allows India to buy Russian oil for 30 days. This has been in the limelight for quite some time. Coming to the other snippets we have here, India denies role in US attack on Iranian vessel. You all know Iranian vessel and the country behind the US. Now new allegation, new accusation. Looks like someone says India's role is there. Based on that, India denies. Deny means to say no, to refuse. India denies role in US attack on Iranian vessel. Here vessel means a ship. Mamata begins sit-in over water roll deletions. This again in the limelight for quite so many months. SAR and sit-in over water roll deletions. What is the meaning of delete? Delete means to remove. Deletion of names, deletion of numbers. 204 cities did not meet air quality standards report. According to one report, it seems how many cities did not meet? 204 cities did not meet air quality standards. A particular report says that 958 candidates qualify for civil services, UPSC. You all know Indian civil services, the most coveted Indian administrative service. Most coveted means most sought after. And ICS, Indian Civil Services, conducted by UPSC, and they have come up with the number 958 candidates qualify for civil services. Coming to the pic here, you can see cadets in action. You can easily make out a combined display of martial arts and other adventure activities was conducted by cadets of the Officers Training Academy (OTA) and Indian Army teams at OTA Chennai ahead of the passing out parade on Saturday. Goes with a particular exercise on the eve of completion of the course. Coming to the other headlines this side, RSP heads for landslide victory in Nepal. Election, someone gets thumping majority. We use the expression landslide victory. Rapper Balan set to become prime minister. Pretty young, a young person. And the party also, RSP, just born just 4 years ago. Within no time, they could get power, and a young person, a rapper, is going to be the PM of Nepal. Let us go to the other one. This is a good move, I suppose. Karnataka AP plans social media ban for children. Banning social media for children, that's a good thing. And 2 states are thinking of doing something like that, that may make an impact, that may make a positive impact on children. Good move. That's all from the front page. Today also analysis this way, but let me tell you, from Monday you're going to have the regular pattern, the front page, then the editorial analysis, vocabulary, then questions based on reading comprehension skill, again mini mocks, questions based on exam topics, and we'll upload the PDF also. Please wait till Monday. I could not do it this week. From Monday it is going to be a regular thing as usual. Today's editorial, many of you may not relate to this editorial. What is this about? F1 Formula race. It's all about car racing. But today some youngsters they find this fascinating. And sometime back they conducted in Hyderabad city, car racing. Are you guys aware of this F1? And this F1 can meet climate targets. It's all about that. And it's a very popular sport, adventure sport in Europe and in the US. They earn millions of dollars and they're very popular. They are like celebrities, like cricket stars in our country, those people. It's very dangerous, risky, and quite adventurous. Let us see what it says, but why is this important? One thing, it provides contextual awareness related to F1 Formula race, car races. Another thing, it also touches the environment dimension. And they participate in so many tournaments, or not tournaments, so many races. And every time, so many cars, so much of fuel. The dimension that has been added, the environment dimension. Based on that, it becomes an important editorial. Let us see how it starts. New formula. The editorial is all about formula car racing, and based on that, in a way related to that new formula. What is this new formula? F1 can meet climate targets without losing any of the thrill. As I said, it has this dimension. That's why it is important. That's why I had to bring. It has a dimension related to environment. Anything related to environment, obviously very important. It goes without saying. And car races, they are like nail-biting finishes, you see, and highly exciting, highly thrilling. F1 can meet climate targets without losing any of the thrill. Climate targets are important. They can meet, but at the same time, they may not lose the thrill. They can do it. Either way, it is good. Coming to the actual editorial, how does it start? Formula 1, F1, is currently going through a golden period. This is an important phrase you have to remember. They are going through a golden period. Means the best period. It is a fact reflected through record race attendances, viewing figures, teams' healthy balance sheets, and soaring valuations. Why does the writer say? First, the writer starts with a statement. F1 Formula race, car races going through a golden period, then the reader cannot understand how does it, what exactly does it mean. Then what do the writers do? They try to substantiate, they try to justify. First one is a statement, golden period. Second one is substantiating, giving the reasons to say it is going through a golden period. What are the reasons? First one, it is a fact reflected through record race attendances. Many people watch, that is something positive. Second, viewing figures, and on TV, it could be the numbers, how many people view, that is also the figures are quite encouraging and promising. Teams' healthy balance sheets, they are making a lot of money. Healthy balance sheets, third factor. Soaring valuations, the teams or the companies soaring, you have to recollect three words. SOAR, soar, to fly high in the sky. SORE, I have a sore throat, means painful. Third one is SOUR, pronounced as sour. All the three words come under confusing words. You have to know for sure what exactly they mean. Even on track, the previous seasons have seen exciting battles. They are quite exciting. No one denies the fact that these car races are quite exciting. Even on track, remember the phrase, the previous seasons have seen exciting battles. The writer should have used past perfect, but here the writer has used present perfect. Perhaps the writer's idea from the past to the present. Imagine the situation from the past to the present, then we should use present perfect tense. Based on that, have seen, present perfect, exciting battles. In 2025, the battle for the driver's title. Here we have the battle, the competition for driver's title. Drivers, a plural noun ending in the letter S, then you should quickly recollect the rule. If a plural noun ends in the letter S, we should use the apostrophe after the letter S, not before. Driver's title went down to the last race with three drivers in contention. The race went down to the last race. Till that time they could not decide. So fly high. With three drivers in contention. Contention has two or three meanings. You all know the idiom bone of contention, cause of dispute. And with the same meaning, what is the other idiom? Apple of discord. Contention means dispute, argument. Here competition. Eventually, there was competition. Three drivers competed, but eventually it has to go to only one person. Eventually means finally. Who has got that one? Eventually, McLaren's Lando Norris triumphed. Another important word. Triumph means what? Victory. Emerged victorious. Ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri and Red Bull's Max Verstappen, the four-time champion. The other two, these two guys, but the first one has got the title, the driver's title. Now on the eve of the season opening Australian Grand Prix, there's one important word here. Usually people mispronounce. They say Grand Prix. No, X is silent. How do you pronounce this word? Grand Prix. X is silent. On the eve of an important phrase, I have told you guys many a time. Imagine you're giving a speech on the occasion of Independence Day. Then what is the standard phrase you're supposed to use? On the eve of the Independence Day, on the eve of the Republic Day, on the eve of the New Year, means on the occasion of. Remember the phrase, very important. Now on the eve of the season opening Australian Grand Prix, it seems the season has just started. And with what? Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, F1 is embarking on a bold trajectory. Embarking on a bold trajectory. Yes, very good. I appreciate that. Harsha, I suppose. Embark, to start, it goes with a journey, a voyage, an expedition. Embark, a venture also. Embark on a business venture, start a business venture. And here, trajectory. We have got many a time. What does it mean? the path, the direction. F1 is embarking on a bold trajectory that could define its future. Again, the writer has to tell us what exactly this bold trajectory he or she has to substantiate. At a time when there is heightened focus on climate goals and a push towards sustainable living, F1 with its fuel guzzling machines, an important word, and a global circus crisscrossing 5 continents 24 times a year can be seen as anachronistic endeavor. That's an important word. Some important words are here. Anachronistic, chrono, the root word. Chrono means what? Related to time. Chronology, the scientific study of time. Chronometer, the scientific study of time with a gadget. And chronicles, you make a note of events or incidents based on the time factor. You have to use 2 words, chronicles, annals. You make a note without, not based on the time factor, you have to use the word archives. Archives, 2 meanings. One meaning, make a note of events or incidents but not based on the time factor, 1 meaning. What is the other meaning? A public place where government records are kept. A public place where government records are kept, that place is called archives. But now modern English, there's another dimension. If you, while using the computer, you keep all the old files, you dump them, you dump in a particular folder, then you can use the word archived, very old files. The sentence talks about at a time when there is heightened focus on climate goals. Today, you all know we talk about environmental problems, climate change, greenhouse gases, greenhouse effect, and we also talk about stopping or reducing fossil fuels and depend on renewable sources of energy. I have already said that. Perhaps you have joined a little late. Endeavor means taking up a project, taking up an activity, not the usual activity, higher level activity. Business endeavor means you started a business, starting a business. At a time when there is heightened focus on climate goals and a push towards sustainable living. Nowadays, what is a buzzword? It has been there for quite some time. Sustainable goals, using the resources wisely, thinking of the future generations. F1 with its fuel guzzling machines. This is an important expression. Fuel guzzling means, guzzle means to take a lot of, in large quantities you consume. Then we use the word guzzle, guzzling. Fuel guzzling machines. They take a lot of fuel, obviously, because with its fuel guzzling machines and a global circus, I don't know why the writer has used circus. Circuit would have been a better word. Crisscrossing, an important expression. 5 continents 24 times a year. These races, they touch all the 5 continents, and if you ask how many times, the number is 24. 24 times a year can be seen as anachronistic endeavor, means out of time, not part of the time. So much fossil fuel going to be consumed, and it looks like out of its time, anachronistic. Endeavor means something you take up. Exactly, consuming a lot, guzzling. You take up a particular project, you start something, then you can use the word endeavor. In 2019, F1 laid out a plan, an important expression, lay out, to make something, to plan something. You have to recollect the verbs lie, lay, lain, lay, laid, laid, to put down something. Laid out a plan to become net carbon zero by 2030. Even they are thinking of climate change, they are thinking of sustainable practices, and they have come up with their own goal. What is that? Become net carbon zero by 2030, and starting this year, to meet that particular objective, it will take its biggest leap. It will take, future tense, biggest leap. Leap means a long jump. towards achieving that goal. How can they do that? They have to depend on renewable sources of energy. They have to depend on electric vehicles. They have to depend on hybrid models. Next part of the editorial talks about that. The governing body, the FIA, has introduced present perfect active voice, a new hybrid engine. This is how they're going to achieve the goal, net zero carbon. A new hybrid engine formula for 2026, split equally between conventional internal combustion engines and electric motors. Conventional means traditional. When you think of the word traditional, conventional sources, non-conventional sources. What are the conventional sources of energy? Fossil fuels. Non-conventional sources of energy, solar energy, wind energy, all these come under non-conventional sources. They are also known as renewable sources of energy. Conventional, not renewable, non-renewable. Internal combustion engines and electric motors. It's a hybrid model. More importantly, all cars will be powered by advanced sustainable fuels, perhaps biofuels. When we say sustainable fuels, what exactly are we trying to convey? Biofuels. Coming to the second part, these fuels are derived from carbon capture, municipal waste, and non-food biomass rather than from crude oil. When we say sustainable fuels, what exactly does it mean? Here, the writer explains. Sustainable fuels. These fuels are derived from carbon capture, municipal waste, and non-food biomass rather than from crude oil. The battery for the electric motor will be charged by harvesting energy lost during braking. They are going to use energy to recharge the batteries. That is also renewable. Historically, major automotive manufacturers have used motorsport as a platform for research and development and have transferred technology from track vehicles to traditional cars. This is something very important. Why are these so popular? Obviously, they're quite exciting, thrilling, but there's something very important behind this. It seems automobile industry, the manufacturing, those industries which manufacture cars, it seems they use this as a platform to test the strength of a car, the ability of a car, and they try to apply that to the commercial vehicles. This is a valid point one has to remember. Historically, major automotive manufacturers have used motorsport as a platform for research and development, for R&D, and have transferred technology from track vehicles to traditional cars. That is a good thing in a way. The new rules have attracted big firms back to the series. Based on the new rules, big names have joined. They're going to participate. Have attracted big names back to the series. And to substantiate that, these are the examples. Audi has entered its own team. Honda and Ford have returned to the sport as engine partners to Aston Martin and Red Bull Racing, respectively. While these are lofty ambitions, very good, two words very important, related to you people. All youngsters, you should have lofty goals. Lofty means very high. As youngsters, you have so much potential. You have to unleash your potential. How can you unleash? First, you should have lofty goals. Then you can unleash. You can raise your standards. Here, lofty ambitions. While these are lofty ambitions, in the end, F1 is still a sport, obviously. And the main aim is to produce an exciting championship. A common man doesn't think of all these things. This is all something like back end. For a common man, it is excitement that the championship provides. But behind that excitement, there's some sort of responsibility using sustainable, depending on sustainable practices, using renewable sources of energy. The charm of racing. What is the meaning of charm? Charm means attraction. Some people, when you see them, you get attracted. Then what do you say? Charming personality. And we also use the expression magnetic personality. But there's a better word. And that word goes with political leaders. Some political leaders attract large number of people. What is the word we use? Charismatic. Have you heard of this any time? Charismatic personality means magnetic, attractive, charismatic. Important word, charm, important word. The charm of racing is seeing drivers push cars to their absolute limits and enthrall viewers. Enthrall also means excite viewers. During pre-season testing, the new cars received a lukewarm response. Another important expression you have to learn and remember. Opposite, overwhelming. When I ask questions, all the students respond, that is overwhelming. Only a few respond, not that enthusiastic. What is the expression we should use? A lukewarm response. Very important, not enthusiastic. From the drivers who felt why this lukewarm response, who felt the new formula did not allow them to push the cars to their limits at all times. Usually these drivers, they want to push the cars to their limits, but it seems the new format did not allow them to push the cars to the limits. Did not allow them to push the cars to their limits at all times as they were energy starved. There's a new combination you have to remember. What is the meaning of starve? If you don't have food for a few days, one day perhaps, what do you say? I'm starving. I'm so hungry, I'm starving. And usually it goes with food. But here we have a new combination. Energy starved means no energy, lack of energy. Though these are early days yet, another expression you have to remember. These are early days yet. It will be interesting to see how quickly the teams overcome these challenges or how the rule makers step in to ensure that the spirit of the sport is not lost. In a way, it says it's too early. We have to wait and watch how the drivers are going to respond and also those who make the rules, how they're going to keep up the spirit. Two dimensions. It will be interesting to see how quickly the teams overcome these challenges, one dimension, or how the rule makers step in to ensure that the spirit of the sport is not lost. Ultimately, what matters, the spirit of the sport is important, and the rule maker should make sure it is not lost. How does the editorial end? If F1 can deliver close racing and a competitive championship by this season's end, the gamble may prove worthwhile. What is the gamble here? Usually gamble evokes a negative meaning. Gambling, playing cards and all those things, gambling. Gamble has many meanings. Here trying something and it may work. Keeping that in mind, the writer closes. If F1 can deliver close racing and a competitive championship by this season's end, the gamble may prove worthwhile. What is the gamble here? Using the hybrid models, using electric vehicles and different engines and using biofuels, sustainable fuels. It's like gambling. If it first season works, it is going to be a big hit. It is worth gambling. It ends on that note, an important editorial, new context, try to develop contextual awareness. Some important words are there. Many words, in fact. Try to spend some time, learn and remember those words. Have a nice day, have a nice weekend. From Monday, our regular pattern, a lot of students have been asking, this channel, other channel. I don't want to talk about other channel, but everything is going to be started. From Monday, regular pattern as usual. Thank you very much.